Hello, my name is Nur Adila Marista binti Arif and my metric number is 307242. Today I will explain the introduction and overview for adoption and implementation of activity-based costing in Malaysia. The adoption of activity-based costing ABC in Malaysia reflects a growing need among both public and private sector organizations to improve cost accuracy and operational efficiency. While ABC originated in the private sector, its principles have been adapted to suit the diverse operational environment of Malaysian organizations. In the public sector, as highlighted by the Accountant General's Department of Malaysia, ABC implementation is often challenged by technical complexity and limited integration into decision-making. Conversely, in the manufacturing sector, case studies show that ABC can enhance cost control and strategic planning when properly executed, despite challenges such as resource constraints and resistance to change. These case studies collectively demonstrate ABC's potential to transform cost management practice in Malaysia. Activity-based costing (ABC) has gradually gained traction in Malaysia as organizations seek more accurate cost management tools. ABC's adoption is seen in both the private and public sectors, driven by the need for improved transparency and strategic decision-making. However, implementation faces challenges such as technical complexity, data limitation, and resistance to change. Case studies from the manufacturing sector and the Accountant General's Department highlight that while ABC offers clear benefits, its success depends on careful planning, system alignment, and user engagement.
Assalamualaikum, my name is Afisha binti Sabri. My metric number is 307422. Today I will continue with history and development of activity-based costing ABC in Malaysia. Let me start with history of activity-based costing adoption in Malaysia. Activity-based costing or ABC was established globally in the 1980s by Cooper and Kaplan as a solution to the traditional costing problem that uses a single driver for overhead allocation. It has been widely recognized as a strategic tool for enhancing cost accuracy and operational efficiency in organization. The adoption of ABC in Malaysia started in 1990, especially in larger organizations that looking for precise cost management system. However, the development of ABC adoption in the developing countries such as Malaysia remains limited compared to the developed countries, despite the significant benefit reported. Next is the development of activity-based costing of several sectors in Malaysia. ABC development in Malaysia started in the private sector with larger companies. The awareness of ABC then expanded into public institutions. Accountant General Department or AGD is the first Malaysian government agency to implement the activity-based costing system. AGD used Government Financial Management Accounting System or GFMAS as its main accounting system, which includes activity-based costing ABC to replace the previous cost method, which is manual accounting system, or we call it as MAS. One of the main findings of the study was related to the success factor in implementation of ABC in different stages. The survey shows that external consultant competency attracts the lowest mean score, which is 3.27. The weaknesses in implementation procedures were consistently not effective, which contribute to dissatisfaction of the implementation of ABC. Another key observation of the study focused on the respondents' perception on the usefulness of activity-based costing system. For the item judged to be the least useful is ABC system can increase cost awareness with the mean of 3.43. That means some of them will not really understand the ABC concept and the real function of ABC within their organization. The last key observation of the study was related to the implementation challenges of activity-based costing. To be contra, the survey shows that many users were having a problem with a statistical information accuracy. It revealed that a significant number of respondents may have encountered difficulties which relate to the technicalities of ABC system. Now, to be concluded, based on research findings, we can see that this was still an early stage of development. Some of the company were not confident using the system, and there was limited understanding of activity-based costing's actual purpose. However, this is normal in the beginning stage of implementation and development of activity-based costing system. That's all for me. Thank you.
Hi and Assalamualaikum. My name is Ainul Mardia binti Muhammad Radi, number metric 307424. In the previous part, you already learned about the history of ABC and the challenges of ABC in Malaysia. So, what next, right? How to implement it? Today, I will be explaining about the implementations of ABC in Malaysia. So in this part, we're gonna focus on two things. The first one, we have ABC in an institution, and the second one, we're gonna look on ABC in a company. So, are you as curious as me? Let's go! For the institution part, we're gonna take Universiti Kebangsaan Malaysia as an example. Under the 10th Malaysia Plan, universities are expected to help drive Malaysia toward a high-income economy by producing competent graduates. To do this effectively, we need a founding framework that focuses on efficiency, cost effectiveness, and cost saving. This allows university to better understand and manage their costs in a more analytical and systematic way, ensuring resources are used wisely to support student success and national goals. How did UKM improve their costing system using the ABC method? First, they began with a research group. Then, they reviewed the existing costing system and designed a modified ABC framework to better reflect their operation. Next, they moved on to data collection using ABC software for analysis. After implementation, they gathered feedback which led to model improvements. All the findings were recorded in a progress report and followed by a final report that completed the entire process. From the implementation of ABC at UKM, several key lessons were learned. Firstly, the existing accounting and information system were not sufficient. They mainly focused on transaction processing and budget control with little support for management-related information. Because of this, implementing ABC required a major system overhaul. Due to this limitation, UKM applied a modified ABC model instead of the full version. However, even with the modified approach, they still face operational difficulties, highlighting the need for better system support and integration when adopting ABC. Next, we move to ABC implementation in a company. Telekom Malaysia (TM) is a leading company in telecommunication services in Malaysia. It is a public listed company with more than 20,000 employees. The introduction of ABC in TM started in 1996. ABC is gradually introduced in the company, starting with the network or engineering department. According to the manager, TM plans to have the whole company eventually adopt ABC. For the present, the company uses two costing systems. One is network costing for capital expenditure decisions, and the other is ABC system for our daily operating expenditure. Let's look at how TM rolled out ABC. TM started ABC by setting up a team to lead the project. They made a website where staff could enter their daily tasks At first, they found 500 cost pools, but later reduced it to 50. To get staff involved, some of them worked with the team for 2 days a week. TM also gave them less work on other days to avoid training. TM got help from external consultants. After just 2 months, they were able to handle the ABC system on their own and even created a custom ABC schedule to fit their daily work. ABC was then used for many things like pricing, budgeting, cutting costs, tracking performance, designing new products, and checking which customers were most profitable. So, that's how Telecom Malaysia trained their team and used ABC in their daily work.
My name is Nurul Izzati binti Baharuddin. My metric number 307301. I will discuss about the challenges and limitations of ABC in Malaysia. Activity-based costing, or ABC, has gained global attention for its potential to improve cost accuracy and efficiency. However, its implementation in Malaysia is not without obstacles. Examples of challenges and limitations that two companies in Malaysia faced while implementing ABC were high setup costs incurred. The Secretary of the Finance Director highlighted a number of problems encountered, particularly during the early stage of ABC implementation. When it first introduced ABC, the company had to incur high costs in buying specific software unique to the company's operations. Additional costs was incurred when the software had to be upgraded from time to time as it was not user-friendly. There was also a considerable amount of time spent by the committee members, especially by the production managers and the accountant, to understand the cost pools and activities. This was necessary to ensure that the ABC cost drivers were comparable with other CM plans worldwide. The next challenges and limitations would be top management bad perspective of ABC. At the early stage, top management seemed to be unimpressed with the ABC system. They perceive ABC to be the same as the other costing technique that they have used before. As a consequence, they were quite reluctant to spend the company's resources on putting ABC into practice. The next challenges and limitations would be rapid change in technology. By the time the working committee finished studying and understanding the process flow and activities of existing products, there were new products or services being introduced by their own company. As a result, new process flow from the said new products would then be charted. This problem is being addressed by the use of appropriate software, which then will be a challenge for ABC to be implemented. Even so, aside from limitations and challenges that was mentioned before, companies in Malaysia also may face these challenges. First, time availability. From the journal article that I have read, further Soha and Chung noted that the problem of time availability, particularly at the initial stage of ABC implementation, becomes quite severe when the key staff involved in the ABC project are also involved in other major tasks related to their daily work. Thus, many managers view ABC as merely creating additional work. Next, the challenges and limitations that a company in Malaysia probably may face would be the lack of skills. The lack of available skills within the company may create problems in implementing ABC. Two case studies undertaken by Sohal and Chung, a company manufacturing engineering components in Melbourne, Australia, and a specialty chemical company in Hong Kong, revealed that a lack of skill necessitated the human resource department to provide extensive training to employees before implementing ABC. Last but not least, the challenges and limitations that the company may face would be data gathering. According to Sohal and Chung, in the two companies that they have studied, when ABC was first introduced, most of the production workers were concerned about the impact of ABC on their jobs. This became a greater concern, particularly when the employees was being interviewed to determine how they spend their time at the workplace. Because of this, they were suspicious of management's decision to implement ABC. These workers were accordingly quite reluctant to disclose the information that was requested. As a result, the project team members faced difficulties in collecting data from the employee. In conclusion, while activity-based costing offers improved cost accuracy and efficiency, its implementation in Malaysia remains challenging. High setup costs, lack of management support, rapid technological changes, limited time and skills, and employee resistance all hinder its success. These challenges highlight the need for better planning, training, and commitment from all levels of organization to ensure effective adoption of ABC in the Malaysian context. Thank you.
Hello, today we'll talk about the paper that is written by Eric Hoffman and Joanne Boschek that is talking about the future recommendation and future prospects for ABC costing. First, they emphasize the need to clarify the role and role of management accounting in inter-organizational settings. While ABC is well established within firms, its application across supply chains, especially in features like supply chain finance, remain undeveloped. So that is one of the future prospects. Second of all, there's good potential in integration technology. Tools like RFID, Internet of Things, and alternative data collection can support time-driven ABC, allowing the real-time cost tracking and more responsive decision-making. Third, the authors first call for a deeper investigation into the use of inter-organizational measurement tools, such as open book accounting and incentive systems, and particularly in the long-term relationship and related negotiations. Finally, they stress the need for standardized cost accounting data across supply chains. A common framework would be need to enable better coordination and transparency, which is critical for supply chain performance. Now, let's take a look at the practical recommendations. First, companies must ensure organizational readiness before implementing ABC. This includes a strong data foundation, commitment from senior leadership, and an openness to adopt ABC as a strategic philosophy, not just a technical tool. Second, to support inter-firm collaboration, the authors recommend using of open book accounting. Sharing cost information across partners should be accompanied by institutional arrangement and incentive mechanisms to build strong trust and reduce negotiation risk. Third, the managers need to shift from a narrow, firm-focused mindset to network-oriented perspective. In practice, this means acknowledging the shared responsibilities, costs, and benefits that arise in supply chain partnership. And together, this relationship helps position ABC not only as a cost tracking method, but as a foundation for strategic supply chain collaboration.